Hello, everybody. It is Saturday, the 24th of June. Yeah, June. That means in 2 days we have Independence Day here on Madagascar, which also means that you might hear some firecrackers and fireworks in the background. That's why I retreated to my bunker. Yeah, and you might hear my geese so now and then as well. Today I want to tackle a little bit of a different item. It is a video made by a lady who transitioned to be a male. She's calling herself, I need to look it up, James Barnes. She has a website called thetranscoach.com. She's also on Instagram, TikTok, and I guess on YouTube as well, but I didn't look that up. So, what's the thing with this video? Well, the last couple of weeks I found several people commenting on this video and basically telling the obvious things about the whole idea of being a transgender. What I missed, though not on all of them, was a little bit of a compassionate view on the whole matter. When I looked at the video, I was actually feeling really sad for this lady. But I will tell you why in a moment. Let's just start. I looked up a different video of her as well, in which she is introducing herself. So let's look at that one first, and then move on to the actual video, shall we?
Alright, this is me 8 years ago, right before I got divorced. I've now remarried, I have 2 epic kids, and I transitioned. Quite a bit happened in those 8 years. You know, I got my dad bod. It's not like the most fit bodybuilder, but man, I love my body. But here's the kicker.
So, there you have it. This is the lady who calls herself James Barnes now. On the left side, you see how she looked in the past when she was married, and apparently not very happy. And on the right side, you see the body she is having now. And let's be honest here, she could have fooled me. If you listen at this, to her voice, you see the beard, you see the body at a distance, I guess, because I think there is some scarring underneath the breast where they removed it. She could have fooled me. But there is more. Let's listen to it. Oh, these are my geese. Do you hear it? So, there is more. Let's go.
I love my body here too. The difference is, though, I was not loving my body. I was eating out all the time, really unhealthy food, drinking my emotions, just all around toxic relationship. Here, I love my body and I show it that I love my body. I take my
and this is where it starts, right? I mean, redefining words. So she says, I used to love my body as well, but I was not loving it. And it's getting so confusing. It gets so confusing when people start to redefine words. I love it, but I was not loving it. And I mean, anyway, so she was eating out, she was not living a healthy lifestyle, and now because she transitioned and she's so happy with her new body, she says, I became vegan, stopped drinking, meditating, and all around loving my body as best as I can. Which is fine. I mean, it's good to love your body, to take care of your body. I mean, for a Christian, it's even more important, because we know that our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, so we should take good care of our bodies, right? I try to do that. We try to live healthy, eat vegetables, not eating out too much. I do a lot of physical things as well, which is good, but we should not overdo it. I mean, there is more than our physical body, right? So anyway, but she's writing here, I'm meditating as well. Yeah, that might be something considered to be a holistic lifestyle. I'm doubtful whether she is meditating towards the Lord Jesus, but well, we leave that aside because I just don't know. Anyway, so let's just finish this video and then move on to the other one.
Testosterone,
Oh,
work
testosterone.
out as much as I can, not very much. And I just all around talk kindly to it. There is no one right body.
You see, I do that. I talk kindly to my geese, but still, only one was laying eggs this last month. Anyway, let's move on.
Some people will view this one as better, and someone will say this one's better, or neither. What I know is I love myself, and I'm proud of me.
Good. So, okay, just let's move on to the other one, all right, shall we?
The gap of toxic masculinity and everything like that. And so I tried a trial and error post yesterday of my experience. And it's interesting, I commented on my stories about how a lot of you reacted so kindly. There's been hit or miss. But I just don't think I have it in me to try to help society understand how we treat men is like so dangerous to men.
Hold on a minute. So she is saying I don't have it in me to help society understand how we treat men, which is a very dangerous way of treating them. So I am mistreated by my society. So keep that in mind.
Because nobody told me how lonely being alone. And then to have all these comments about, and to have all these comments about like justifying the coldness to men, which is valid.
You see, and I'm a man. I don't think we are cold. I think this is mostly who we are. And I'm not a very, how would you say that, manly man in the eyes of the world. I've been a stay-at-home dad for 7 years. I've mostly been around my kids' life in those 7 years. I brought them to school. I talked to women about breastfeeding. So that's not really manly, right? Still, I never felt that men were really cold because I'm pretty much used to being a man. So I think you start to understand where this is going, right? Because this is like, now we hear the lady talking about men like I don't understand men. So let's move on.
But to just be remembered like, oh, that's right, everybody just sees you as the villain. But to have known, and I think a lot of trans men feel this, is we knew what depth felt like before we transitioned. We knew what it felt like to like have people want to hug us.
And here I start to feel really, really sorry because she says, I've been a woman. Well, in my opinion, she's still a woman, and she said, I know how it feels like when people come to you and hug you. And my friends hug me, but it's more a man's hug, They squeeze you, or they pat you on the shoulder, and it's like hoo-ha. And I've seen how women hug, and sometimes they just. I see it with my girls. I've got 2 teenage girls, and they come to church, and then other girls they hang around them like this, head to head, and that's men don't do that. I don't feel the urge to do it anyway. I mean, when my best friend comes, when I hope to see him next year again when we go on a furlough to the Netherlands, I will hug him. I will squash him, but not 5 minutes long. It's like, it's good to see you again. That's like being a man. But yeah, she says, I know how it feels to be, how it is to be a woman. And this is really, for me, this is devastating to hear, because inside she is still a woman. And I guess her emotions are maybe a little bit more manly than the average women around her, but still she is a woman.
and to have people want to talk to us and to have a community. And then you transition and you're just a guy walking down the street that people cross the street so that they're not near you.
Well, and I never experienced that either. So she's saying, well, you're just a guy, and people actually cross the street so that they don't have to be near you. This is totally not my experience as a man. I mean, it might feel like that for a woman because men are a little bit more distance. Women keep their distance from men. That's like normal. We do that as men. Real men ought to do that to women as well, right? We're not gonna walk around and give every lady a hug or wrap our arms around every lady we see, and the other way around should be the same. Women should respect men in the sense of we're not gonna trigger any emotions within them, so we are going a little bit, we just give them a little bit more space. And apparently she is totally not used to that, and she is experiencing it like being that people are avoiding her. And this is really breaking my heart, because look at these eyes. I mean, she's got beautiful eyes, but they're so full of tears and sadness. I feel really, really sorry for her. Anyway, let's move on. I'm not going to cry here. I'm not going to do it. I could, but I'm not.
And friendships are so much harder to build. And people are colder and more detached. And I just don't think I have it in me to try to continuously be vulnerable on this topic, because it's so long story short. This is all the energy I have to give on the topic. Like, just try to think about how you can, in your small little community where you feel safe, and reach out to the men in your life and just help them feel maybe seen for a moment. Or do little conversations to help their emotional maturity so that they can reach out to people and have deeper guy friendships. Because
so basically what she is describing here is a female. When I look at my wife, I've almost been married with her for 26 years. I guess I know her fairly well. When I look at my two teenage girls, what she is describing here is women emotions. Women who want to talk about deeper things. Men mostly, we do talk about emotions, but mostly after 2-3 minutes we need to make a joke. We just go like, oh well, look at me, I'm a crybaby. And then we laugh and we pat each other's shoulder and we move on. But women would like to, not all, but a lot of women want to continuously talk about these things. Another thing is I should stop saying most, but many women aren't even looking for solutions. They just want to share their emotions. We as men are more like, okay, I've got this problem. I'm going to share it with you, and I want to hear your solution. Come on, give it to me. And that's, I think, for a lot of women considered to be a little bit cold. But I'm not looking for deep conversations with everybody. I mean, I have good conversations with my best buddy in the Netherlands. I've got deep conversations with my best buddy here on Madagascar, who's also my pastor, which is nice. But I'm not looking for deep conversations with every man. That's just not how it works, right? I mean, there might be men who are like that, but not many, not most of them, let's say it like that. Not most of them are like that. So she shows here that she's just still a woman. I'm very sorry. So she's going to say something about, let's keep it back a little bit. There you go. Maturity.
Stations to help their emotional maturity so that they can reach out to people and have deeper guy friendships, because I joke that I had closer friendships with random women I met in the bathroom before I transitioned at clubs because of how open women are than I've had in my 8 years of transitioning.
Well, you see, that's the thing. She says, I make jokes that I had deeper conversations with random women in bathrooms or like at clubs before she transitioned. And I bet she did. Because, I mean, when a woman goes to the bathroom, doing her thing, making herself beautiful, they just randomly are able to talk to other women. It's like they are wired like that. They just do it. They are mostly so social. We men, we just go to the toilet and we take a leak. And maybe we say, "Hi buddy, how are you?" And we wash our hands and we're off again. I mean, when men start to have social conversations in the bathroom, we consider that a little bit awkward because who are you? What's up? I mean, come on, do your thing and get out of the toilet. I need to go. It's my turn.
Because women are just so much more vulnerable and deep than men. And what's hard is none of this invalidates how real and raw women and people who are in marginalized groups feel about cis white men. All of that's valid.
Oh, hold on a minute. Cis white men. So I know that I'm a heterosexual. I'm white. I'm a man. I know that for sure. So what's cis? Well, I had to look it up, and Wikipedia tells me that cis is somebody who identifies with the gender that was assigned to that person at birth. So when I came to this world, that was in 1974, somebody smacked my butt. I started to cry, and they looked at the front, they turned me around, they flipped me over, and they said, "Oh, it's a boy." So there I got identified as a male, boy. And sometimes, and this is very rare, it's very hard to see because somebody has a disorder or something, and they need to check the DNA and the chromosomes, and what do you know? They identify that person as a boy or as a girl. And because I actually acknowledge that outcome, I'm a cis man. So for me, it sounds like sissy. So I hate it. I really hate it when they start to use it. I mean, all those terms, grow up. I mean, I'm just a man. It's okay for you to call me a white man because that's what I am. Even with some grey hairs, I'm fine with that. But stop labeling me as a cis man. I mean, anyway.
But I also now understand why the suicide rate is so much higher in men. This shit is lonely. And
Hold on a minute. So yeah, that's true. There is a higher suicide rate among men. But I don't think it's because loneliness. I think there is so much pressure on men overall. Men need to be good in all sorts of things nowadays. I mean, we need to be emotional, we need to be social, we need to be a sweet daddy, we need to be this, we need to be that. I think the social pressure on men is really, really tough. So I need to look that up, but I'm almost sure that is a big part of it. Not the loneliness. I mean, of course, some people are lonely, and they might consider commit suicide because of that. But it's not only that. No, not at all. Anyway.
Mature man. I know how to build friendships, and it is
Hold on. Let's get back. What? Sorry, again?
This shit is lonely. And I'm an emotionally mature man. I know how.
No, you're not. "Oh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, but you're not an emotionally mature man." This is really sad, because honestly, an emotionally mature man would not sit here. I mean, it's okay for men to cry so now and then. Don't do it too often. It's a little bit awkward, but I cry so now and then, and mostly not so now and then. It's actually pretty rare when I cry, but that's not the standard. But when I cry, I will do it beside my wife. I remember when my oldest brother died. This is many years ago already, and I loved my brother. He was my buddy, and I cried. Yeah, but I mean, I'm not gonna sit in this video and pouring out all my emotions like she is doing, and then, I mean, you're not an emotionally mature man. I'm very sorry. An emotionally mature man is somebody who is who has been a man for his entire life, who went through puberty, who actually passed all the stages of being coming into this world as a boy and growing up, toddler, teenager, man, getting married, and maturity is something that needs to develop, and you're not gonna mature in only 8 years. Certainly not when you're female. You will never ever know. Honestly, you will never know and understand men perfectly if you transition from a lady to a male's body, because it's inside you're just not a man. I'm really sorry. I feel so sorry for this lady, and I honestly, when I see her, I would like to give her a hug and tell her that whatever happened, Jesus still loves her, and he wants to redeem her as well for eternity. There is always a way back. Jesus loves her, and so should we. So how are we going to deal with this as Christians? This is a really difficult question, isn't it? Anyway, let's continue a little bit.
How to build friendships, and it is still really, really hard.
Yeah.
And then you add in all of the things that make it more complicated, and interests, and not drinking, or being vegan, or being trans, or whatever, and oh my gosh, it is lonely. So two things can be true at the same time. We have to hold men accountable, but we can't hold them accountable to fix a problem they don't have the tools to fix. So if you've gotten this far, thank you. Probably not going to be focusing on this topic again. I think I'm just too vulnerable for it. I'm still trying to process everything in regards to how society treats me as a man.
So again, I think the biggest problem in society is not that we as men are being ostracized. I think the biggest problem in society is this ideology that men and women inherently are the same on the inside. This is just not the way it is. God created Adam and Eve, and even though we are equal in God's eyes, we are not the same. I mean, outward, that's obvious, right? But I mean, on the inside, we are absolutely not the same. So why should men fix a problem? There is no problem, in the sense of we already acknowledge that we are free to share our emotions, but we are just doing that in a different way than women do, and that's a good thing, because we need both sides. I mean, when you have a meeting, for example, and it's only male or only female, you most likely get a awkward outcome. But if you have a meeting in which both genders are present, you mostly get this nice outcome, because women are more orientated on the emotional, social aspects. Men are more, not always, but more practical, and we need to go forward. And so, yeah, again, I don't feel mistreated by society. Only I feel mistreated by this woke ideology, this LGBTI plus ideology, in which I am dictated how to act like a man. And if I look at God's word, a man is somebody who's taking care of his family, who is providing. And the way you do that with your spouse is totally up to you. You can come up with different solutions. A man is there to raise his kids, to love his wife, and to actually give his life for his family. A man is like should be like how Christ is for the church. I mean, Christ gave up his life for the church. So should we give up our lives for our family? That's a man. Nothing like the woke ideology wants to teach you. We shouldn't be sissies. It's not about muscles. I mean, I'm not a sissy in the sense of skinny or whatsoever. But that doesn't make me a man. Not more than somebody who is skinny but is taking care of his family in the right godly way. So anyway, yeah, let's finish this video.
Season. But I appreciate everybody who stayed on, and all of your kindness, and keep doing my best I can to bring awareness in ways that are okay for me. So I love and appreciate all of you. I guess I have to remind myself to take a deep breath.
Yeah, and I love you too. And I care for you. And I feel sorry for you. Actually, what she did was, after she posted this video on Instagram, she received a lot of response from men who were willing to be her friend. And I believe that's great. We should be compassionate for these people because they have a problem. They have a big problem, and we shouldn't bash them. For having this problem, we should be compassionate towards them. I think prayer would be a good thing to do, and point them to the salvation which we can receive through Christ. Anyway, so this was my take on the video. I'm very sorry, it's a little bit of a sad video. I would like to encourage you to pray for this lady. She's coaching other transgenders, so I guess that's her livelihood now. Still, there is always a way back to God, and please pray for her and be nice. I'm not saying you should not tell the truth, because the truth should always prevail, but it's the way we tell it, right? It's the way we bring it forth in the discussion. Are we there to win? Are we there to bash somebody over the head with the Bible, or are we compassionate, loving, and trying to help somebody? So this is my input. Leave your comments in the section below, and tell me what you think. Thank you for watching this video. You can give me a thumbs up if you liked it. You can also subscribe to my channel, or even better, follow me on Odyssey. That way you will never miss a new video. You will find all the links in the description below.